euro, pound, that's where I want to buy. And then price comes. But on the smaller time frames, which I've told you to stay away from, because if you're just thinking about H4 daily, if you're just thinking about H4 daily, there's an H4 demand, price came into it. That's really all you're seeing. There's an H4 demand here. Look at this value base, right? And price came into it. Price is leaving. If you go to daily, markets are coming to finally make contact, fresh touch with your demand. It's right at the top. That's where your area of competition would be, just like how I taught you. Everything is fine. But when you go to those people want to add, and there's nothing wrong, it's just that on the smaller time frames, can you handle this? Can you handle seeing money disappear from your account, go back, take it? Because once you close, you lose your area of competition.
365, shake my hand. And yeah, good day. Look, thank you for tuning in. Please subscribe and like if this information helps you in any way. If you're enjoying what you're watching, comment down below, right? I'll be very good with responding directly to you. But the video you're about to watch, right, is a snippet of one of my live class sessions. So we're calling them, you know, golden nuggets from class sessions. Things that I feel like everyone should know that they don't know, right? Most of our classes are about 2 hours. So it's just a very short, small part of what happened that day. Right, see you in the next video. Shake my hand. 365.
So I quickly hit. There we go. Right. So we are all together. Right. Can you hear that? Okay, fantastic. Thank you, Sheila. Those of you who missed yesterday's class, please don't forget, if you miss a class, don't forget to keep track of the class that you missed, so that when the recordings are live, those are the videos you really need to focus on, right? Unfortunately, as I was explaining yesterday, it always feels like towards the end, you know, energies are low, or, you know, things happen, etc. And because we're doing tools, a lot of people assume the tools are not that important, but they actually are. So while we don't trade tools, the tools give us this clarity, all right, of what we need to do. All right, so we're just gonna pick it up from where we left off. For some reason, I also had network problems towards the end of the class last night, and I was about to jump on. It took like 15 minutes for my router to kind of like reset. And then I realized it was already after 8:30 p.m. So we thought best we recontinue today. Okay. Been watching this pair for a while. So there's some action here on Euro JPY, but I have to wait. I have to follow the rules, right? So as soon as they take out this demand, right, I'm selling. But price is now on the other side of a trend line, okay? I'm bringing this to your attention because number one is the first chart here. Number two, that's what we are talking about, right? We're talking about how do we use trend lines as tools, and maybe we might need to, I kind of feel sad for the last. Don't worry, Mr. Kakoma, there'll be more. There'll be more classes. Yeah, I mean, next week is going to be awkward for me because I don't have an intake. So I won't know what to do with myself. Well, I've got lots of stuff to do, but it's just going to feel weird. But just a reminder to everyone, right, guys, right? So for the rest of 2021, and we're only in July, so there's still maybe 3 to 4 intakes, even though I'm not taking one right now, right? Up until the end of the year, there will be other live intakes, right, that are going to happen. And you will see them in your Telegram group. Normally, when the Telegram group gets to 100 people, I start a new one just so that there isn't too much stuff that I can't keep track of. And you guys will be now so tired of answering basic questions to new people, so we move them, right? So there's still a couple of live intakes that are going to happen, you know, this year. Like I said, in August, there's going to be a special thing for women. I'm still trying to think through it, right? Exactly how to structure it. But for the whole year, if you see a live intake, right, a class call, whatever, all of you, I'm telling you this right now. So in case I forget me, all of you are welcome to redo the course live with me. All right, again, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, it honestly doesn't matter. It doesn't change anything, and there's no cost to that, right? So it's going to be $0, right? You are a student already, I'm practically going to be repeating all this stuff, right? I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, but a lot of people learn better. Some of our beta traders came to redo the course 2 or 3 times. You've seen the Samuels, they visit class when there are specific topics they want covered. And that's just how human beings learn. We learn through repetitive action. Okay, so please note, we're just taking a short break because we finished our module, all right? What should happen for you guys is after today, maybe tomorrow, when all your recordings are up, you know, all the other online stuff is up, you will then get an email from me between Friday and Saturday, and I'll give you access to what is called the remote course. The remote course is exactly what you've already done. It's the online version of the course, right? But in that online version, naturally, it's recordings of previous classes that you guys were not a part of. But I've chosen those classes carefully, right? It's where I feel, damn, I was the best version of myself in that class, in that particular class. And that's really when you get to see, you know, me when I'm high energy, low energy, because, you know, I'm a human being. So I'm not always at 100%. So sometimes at 98, 99, 80, I don't know. So the remote course is like a well-organized structure of our online lectures, right? Just like you've been seeing them in the Google Drive. But in there are some classic nuggets, right, that I don't do anymore, right? And I'll tell you in the email which lectures are different from the ones that you've done with me so far. Things that I think you should just have a quick look at, etc. All right, so that you'll have you know, lifetime access to that. All right, and then when we're done back testing it, I'm going to upload module 3, right, inside the remote course. I might not be able to do a live intake for module 3 because of time, right? But module 3 is different, right, guys? Module 3, let me tell you about module 3 real quick. Number 1, for you to start trading, you've got my green light. You now know, right? Wait. I have covered everything that you now need to know about trading after tonight's class. Okay, that's number 1. So you can start trading on Monday, right? But you need to answer a couple of questions to you, right? Number 1, are you ready? Right, because that's all you need to trade. You need my module 1 and my module 2. The senior traders really don't have module 3. No one has seen my module 3 yet, because when I create a module, what I do then is I back test it. So I started back testing module 3 November last year, did 100 rule-based trades, right? So how back testing works professionally is you have a set of rules and you trade nothing else. And you have to be so well balanced, no emotions. If it's going to be a loss, let it be a loss, right? So I can't go save a trade. I can't say, if I followed the rules, if it's a value-based demand, I must see my value-based demand hold, or I must see price take out my value-based demand and my stop loss gets hit, right? So I have to invest in real money, right? So okay, the figures don't matter. Well, what matters is that's the process. And then after that's done, because I truly believe in what I say to you guys, trade in clusters. So I do this in several clusters. And the reason for that is I'm keeping track of wins and losses. So we've got a 365 bot. You guys you'll hear about the bot next year. So please don't even ask me about it this year. I move so slowly with Academy stuff because I take my time to perfect it, right? A lot of the stuff, I don't want to redo automations ever again in my life when I'm done with this phase. So probably next year, 2nd or 3rd or even 4th financial quarter, I will release a 365 bot. And 365 bot will trade for all of us. It's going to have my mind, my perceptions, my rules without the emotions. The other thing that a robot does that you and I can't do is a robot is actually scaling the markets 24/7. So I mean, euro, pound, USD, JPY, pound, USD, because I did those charts in the war room. And how the war room works is I don't want to take too many trades outside of what was discussed. Then people think I'm not sharing stuff with them because human beings are very entitled, right? But the bot doesn't care. As long as the bot has capital, the bot will trade here, there, everywhere. At the same time, as long as it makes sense to the risk management rules you create in it, right? So that's going on. But for every module, module 1, module 2, and module 3, I first had to trade in clusters. So I took the first 30 rule-based trades that appeared in front of me, then took another 30, and then took another 30, then took another 30, pause. I've got 4 sets of 30. In each cluster, I'm assessing 2 or 3 main things. How many trades did I win or lose? How many trades did I win or lose? Because here, I could have had a funeral, all right? So maybe a family member died and I was emotionally out of it for a month. So if my losses are like 15, right? And 15 wins, right? I've got a 50% win rate in cluster 3, in cluster 1. This is not like me just ranting, guys. This is how you grow as a trader. Traders who don't backtest, traders who don't analyze over the weekends, traders who just think they're going to find one support, one supply, one demand, or trade the news, hardly ever make it in the game. It's a full-time job. The most powerful CEOs in the world outwork most people, right? Despite how much they earn, right? Elon Musk stays in his office. I'm not idolizing, working yourself, to death, but I'm simply saying you have to master your craft before your craft can take care of you, essentially. All right. So that's what I did. And so in case something happened in cluster 1, if I had a funeral, in cluster 2, I want to redo the same things, not the same setups. I'm just scanning as the market is producing setups, and I go in there with my rules. How did 30 trades do? Maybe this was the 1 month where me and my wife fought a lot, right? Maybe I annoyed her and she was annoying to me, and we were annoying to each other, and it's lockdown and we can't really go away, and we stuck together, fought. So there we go. So now I've got like 10 losses and 20 wins. So I'm starting to build a story. I'm like, okay, fine. I was emotionally out of it. Makes sense here. All right, cool. I can see it's getting better. I'm sure if I fix my house issues, things get better. In cluster 3, same situation. How many wins, how many losses? Am I getting better? Trading journal, right? In the remote course, there's a trading journal in there for you. It's Microsoft Excel, right? I'll talk to the whole academy about it, because I was supposed to do a video on how to use it, and I've actually I've got a new version that I'm using now, so I'm going to update it for everyone. So I give you guys my trading journal. The trading journal does a good job of tracking everything, as long as you, the human being, go to it and put in the data. So if you open a trade today, you open your trading journal and you put the date. Today, the 15th of June, you're buying Euro JPY at this level. You are risking 0.03. Your capital is this. You want to take profit here. You're entering there, and you literally convince yourself. Later on, me, when we're doing the one-on-ones, all the one-on-ones I've done with Group 20, none of them submitted trading journals. None. Right. So people like, I literally am a father of 2 beautiful kids. I honestly love you guys. You guys are literally in the root phase of what I think will be a big thing in Africa 10 years from now. But you're not my children. So I can give you the tools, but if you don't want to use them, you don't want to use them, right? I can't force you, but the one-on-ones I've done. So now I'm asking the trader, when you're buying here, why did you buy there? Because now we're looking at price, with hindsight. It's like, okay, but look, dude, it's literally a supply is in control. If you had your trading journal and you used the one that I give you, you'd have had a short narrative to explain to yourself why. That does something to your mind. It's like that last line of defense in your psychosis where your mind goes, dude, are you really sure? Buddy, are you really sure that you actually want to make this buy? And if you do, tell me why. Be proud of the reason why you're going to buy. Trade, because it's too much work, man. People just want to buy, sell, and make money, and they skip this process. There isn't a single senior trader who works for me at the corp who can take a trade without me seeing his journal. The traders that I hire who actually their trading journals are linked to Screen 5 right here. So before he puts a trade, if I'm online and he's about to make a move, he's placed a heavy pending order, he's put like 100,000 rands of the company's money on the line, I can see his logic. He's like, okay, fine. I see a value-based demand, markets are bullish, a trend line support. I had my breakfast today, I'm feeling good. All right, cool. So when I go as an oversight to double check what he's doing, right? Because if he loses money, he's just going to be like, sorry, boss, I lost money. I'll try again tomorrow. And all I can say is, yeah, please do better. But if I can understand your logic, me and you can then investigate that flow process. So hold yourself thoroughly comfortable. But somewhere along the line with the clusters, you will start to pick up a pattern. Right. So what I don't want you guys to do, and 30 is my number, right? I think you guys should stick to 15. Never move forward. Never open trade 16 the next week or the other week before you review how you're doing. Seeing $200 turn into $300 is not a reflection of how you're doing, right? You could have done this. So trading is this weird thing. So there's a term called drawdown in the professional sector. And a lot of traders try to avoid this conversation. So let's say you started with $200 US. It's our last class tonight. Let's cook a bit, guys. Let's do this. Let's really make sure we're all ready to start trading live accounts here. So let's say you start off with $200, and after a week of trading, maybe that's not even realistic. Maybe after 2 weeks to 3 weeks, who knows? Depending on the opportunities and your ability to spot them, you are now on $350 US. This is not a reflection that you are a consistent, profitable trader. Don't fool yourself. The true reflection is going to be, what's your P&L? Because when I go through your statement, those of you are going to be brave enough to do the one-on-one, and it's not scary. It's literally just you and me. You've never seen a single one-on-one on Facebook, because that stuff is private. It's your personal account. Your real details are your monies are there. I'm unpacking, the way you think through price. So all one-on-ones are private and confidential. Then I do a private and confidential report that I send directly to you that we keep in our file, right? To let you know that, on the 15th of July, this is where you were as a trader. It's like when you go see a doctor and the doctor takes x-rays and they find something small. Next month, when you come for a checkup, right? We first review where you were on the 15th, and now we're coming to check the difference. Is this getting better? Is it getting worse? Do you need more than just one-on-one? Right? Is there something about your relationship with money that I don't know about that I think you need to figure out? Right? There are some people who have said straight up, I love you to death, man, but you need to go. Where do you stay? They tell me where they stay, especially if you're in South Africa. It's easy, right? You simply go to a state hospital and you go see a state well-trained psychologist. Don't talk about training, talk about your life. Do it for 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, right? Because this stuff is fundamentally, the essence of our being. Our relationship of money is rooted in how we were raised. I can't fix that. Trading can't fix that, right? But if you don't know how to keep money and my one-on-ones are not working, I need to have a report to say, we've tried this, we've tried that, we've tried that. If you still want me to help you, I'm here for it. But I think we now need to partner up with someone. I keep saying in the United States, the people we're competing with, London, UK, I once traveled, my last trip to see my mentor before the lockdowns and COVID, except even in Italy, right? Same stuff. These guys are professional clinical psychologists inside their trading floors, whose job is to just talk to traders and manage their performance, because this is what trades, not buy or sell. But in Africa, you tell someone about a therapist, they want to run away. Long story, your P&L is what tells me if you're a consistent, profitable trader, not the fact that your account has grown, right? Because your account could grow because you came to War Room and I just so happened to be right. With the signal. And what I've noticed, what a lot of people do is they shut down, they give up ownership and control of their lives. They'll be like, Leroy said, Euro GBP is going up, so I'm all in. It's Leroy, by the way. Leroy said it, I'm all in. If it was my signal by myself, I'd have gone 0.01 because I only have $100. But because Sensei said it, right, for some reason, they think this makes sense. I'm going to go 0.20 because he can't be wrong, right? He's the guy who taught me how to trade, right? So this crazy notion that risk management goes out the window is the reason why 365 doesn't even do signals. We do with War Room, but we don't have a signal service. I don't sell these stuff because it's just draining to explain this to people who don't want to do the course, who don't understand that all supplies and demands are equal. If you could be in a buy at 9 a.m., but if you didn't track the supply at 2 p.m., that supply is going to take you out. And it's not because I'm wrong or you are wrong, it's because you missed your exit, right? Now prices turned against you. So people over leverage here, and that might explain why your account grew, right? From $200 to $350. Maybe you took three gambles here, 3 trades with a bigger lot size for your account, right? And I happened to be right that one time. And so your account grew. This is not a reflection of what I'm teaching you is working. It's not a reflection of you're becoming a consistent trader. It's not a reflection of any of the above. It's a reflection of you got lucky. What your P&L will show me, your trades, the trades that you see for yourself, it will look like this. We'll have USD ZAR 0.01. It's going to take forever to type, but I think the visuals are important. And let's say here you made $15, and then on the same day you had pound USD 0.01, or the next day, whatever. But guess what? You lost, right? So I'm going to put my losses in brackets. You lost 15 or 17. Losses are always drastically bigger, right? Because people hold on hoping. We don't hope in markets, right? Hoping, you do that in your personal life, in your faith life with God and with your church, but we don't hope in the markets. We drive it via skills and rules. There is no room for hope. It's either it is or it isn't. It's either gravity works or it doesn't, right? The rules of supply and demand are universal because we are tracking the crowd mentality of the biggest players who own the market, who are profit driven. Not only profit driven, but they're good. Right? JP Morgan is good at extracting money from the markets. Goldman Sachs is good at extracting money from the markets. So when they move and you move against them, you are bound to lose 9 out of 10 times, right? So your P&L start to look like this. It will start to tell this interesting story. Euro, I don't know, ZAR 0.02. You got excited. You took a loss there, minus $49. Right? And then that really crazy signal, because I'm tired now of typing too many things. You did this, then you came to War Room, you had a bad, losing week, and then all of a sudden you made $150. So of course, naturally, your P&L will balance out, right? You're going to end up being more profitable by the end of that week or the end of that cluster, because while you had your own 2 big losses, you had your 1 win and you had a good signal, right? Signals can be terribly bad, okay? But it happened that you had a good signal and you took risk, unnecessary risk, massive risk on that. Perchance the signal works and you make money. And so now when you're pumping yourself the next week as a trader, you start to think you're profitable. Nah, bro, we got to talk about this. What's going on here? Because if you don't fix that, right, it's like trying to catch cancer at stage 1. If you don't fix this in your trading, right, which is why I keep saying trade in clusters. If you think 15 is a lot, I agree with you. Even after every 10 trades, what kind of a trader am I? Right? I can teach you tools. We can link your live account with my FX book. It can give you graphs. It can show you stuff. But your broker has it all built in. You just simply pull out your statement. You can ask for graphical stuff. It's all there on your platform, right? If you just click around here and there. But you could just also use your cell phone and just click last week. How many trades did I take last week? You'll see stuff like this on your P&L. Your P&L will show you. I see this all the time. I'll see this pound USD sell 0.01 on a trader's account. And then this will be $1.50 profits. And your broker they're on top of it, right? They'll write the time, the date, the exact hour and minute you opened the order. So the first sell was at 9 a.m. So maybe you were trying to trade the London session. So this is a 9 a.m., right? That's your first sell there. Let's just make this pretty. There's not much to add on trend line. So I guarantee you, I'm not wasting time. This is what we do in the mentorship program. Remember, all of you still have 365 days of mentorship with me if you want to. I don't force people. People come when they want to. Some people never come. Some people do come. Some people come a lot. they use it a lot, right? It's fine. It makes no difference. And then and then something, you saw something, right? Or your buys, because you're watching the markets, you're too emotionally invested. You think because you're buying, or no, sorry. So the first example is selling. You think because you're selling, you deserve red candles, right? You take your expectations, your account, your life's problems, your landlord, your bills, your school fees to the market, and because you hit sell, your expectations want to see red, 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 and all the markets give you is red, green, 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 red, red, green, green, red, red, and this number keeps jumping from, it was $5, now it's $1.50. You have $5 in profits, even $10, and now there's a lot of red. There's like a sharp pill of red. And now, guess what? You are looking at $1 left. So what do? It's just been 10 minutes since you opened the trade. Your P&L will tell you this. And this is confidence. It will tell you that you are not yet confident, right, in your trading. So then, boom. I always ask the trader, but what happened here? Because this will end up being a loss. Minus $15, literally at 9:30 a.m. You panicked, you were selling, you made $10 as price dropped. All of a sudden, you saw 4 big green candles. Markets are buying against you. You're like, oh no, my analysis is wrong. Let me close the sell. And what do? Let me start quickly opening a buy. But all those profits that I lost, let me double my lot size quickly so I can make up the money. You hear what I just say? Your mind is going to give you a very similar narrative 100 times. Even if you watch this video later on in your life, and you remember that Leroy predicted this narrative, if you don't have discipline, your mind is going to redo this thing. So you open this buy all of a sudden because you're not confident in your analysis. Well, what's going to happen to the buy, ladies and gentlemen? Let's say you were wrong on the buy. You're not only trading in the wrong direction, you've over-risked your account. I'm talking about a small account. Let's say you got $100. It doesn't even matter, guys. Honestly, if you're thinking about profits and money, you still have a lot to learn. It doesn't matter, but let's use this small, tiny, petini lot sizes. So I'm going through your P&L, and all of a sudden at 9:30, right, because you're now buying, markets are now selling again. Because the first 30 minutes of an opening session are chaotic because flow traders are punching in orders, finding who the markets they're creating and selling or buying against them, right? And so you are just in the chaos. You don't even know what's going on the floor. You are literally in the chaos. 30 minutes later, you realize, damn, I was right. It is a sale. It is a sale. Let me quickly open a sell trade. This is in your statement. If anyone has traded before and they're not shy, this is literally the story of most retail traders. So then you jump in again, sell 0.3. Here's the problem with structure. Here's the problem with structure. Remember, structure is important. The first sell that you did, let's say price was leaving an H4 supply. I don't know, but H4. So you're looking at H4, but the reality is this is what the 5 minutes chart is doing. Because remember, for you to get an H4 candle, 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, all those minutes must run. All right, right. So now on the 5 minutes chart, this is the first sell here. Sell 0.01, right? This was you. You were making money. And then it was at $10. Then all of a sudden, it stopped making money. Right. So this is a smaller time frame. Let's draw you a nice supply so that you're not confused. Right. So you get this situation here, and then you see like it's a bearish engulfment pattern, right? Let's just say on the left, all your imbalance rules were met. On the left, all your imbalance rules were met. All right, and then markets punched up, And then this is what you're targeting all along, right? So it's fine. I'll redraw it properly, right? So markets eventually punched up, and then on this is a 5 minutes chart. This is a very tiny chart, but this tiny chart is complete control over your life, right? And that's just the reality. You don't even know to look at the 5 minute chart or what to look for there, because you're starting, right? You want to avoid this high, volatile place. But this is a 5 minutes chart. This was you here at $10 US in profits in your sell. You were right about your analysis. But then the 5 minutes chart starts to retrace, right? So let's say price actually starts to retrace because it wants to retouch the engulfing candle, the usual rules, but because price is fractal, it will do everything the same. And now it's approaching, what is it approaching? Your entry point, right? So this green candle is coming to your entry point. So now you're moving from $10 profit, right, all the way here to $9, $8, $6. Now you're like, because you're looking at your phone like a crazy person, like, what the hell is going on? I mean, what the hell's going on? Why is it not dropping? Why am I not a millionaire already, right? That's the logic. It's a dangerous logic. When markets get here, you literally got that $1.50, like, no, I'm gonna close, or rather start again later on, but I don't want to lose my capital. Fear. People who are too protective over their capital are always lose out the most. Now, I've said this many times, defend your capital, and I mean it with all my heart. But I don't mean you defend it fearfully. Whatever you're afraid to lose, you're going to lose. You've seen those controlling boyfriends who don't want their women to leave the house or dress blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Eventually, she will leave you for a psychologically stable human being, right? Fear is a dangerous, dangerous motive in the market. We fix fear by correcting and building our confidence. We build our confidence by back testing. We back test to see our strategy work so many times. It's like riding a bike, driving a car, whatever is easy, the things that you do without thinking, right? That's what your strategy needs to feel like. Now markets are here at $1, you close. Not only do you close, you're looking on the 1 hour H4 time frame, you're seeing a wick dancing like this. On these smaller time frames, it's just these 5 minute candles. Let me draw this here. So you see this red one there, right there? It's just these 5 minute candles on the 1 hour, on the 1 minute, 5 minute, 15 minutes, getting higher and higher inside the supply. Why? They want to equalize themselves with the order block. Which order block? Well, the original order block. The wick of this wick wants to touch and meet before the ultimate drop. What are you doing, right, emotionally? Here you are now buying here because you thought since you're in a sell and then your profits were wiped out in 15 minutes that it's actually your analysis was wrong. So now you want to buy. But where are you buying? You can't see this in the 5 minutes chart, but that's exactly what you're doing. You're now buying high. You're screwed. Do you know why? Because slowly but surely, this is all one candlestick. You see this, all this activity here? This is just one H-hour candlestick. It's just many candlesticks on the smaller time frames, but on 1 hour H4, on the daily time frame, this is just the wick. This is the beginning part of the sell. On the 1 hour time frame, 30 minutes later to an hour later, after markets have kind of like, figured out the direction of the day in the London session, at about 11 a.m., you come back and check, and boom, your buy has cost you a lot of money because you thought price was going to go up, and markets, you were always right. Price decided to go down against you. Now, if you think this was unnecessary, a complete waste of your time, I know you guys don't think that, but just for the record, it happened today. And I hate this thing. This, I promise you, I fasted away from a phone for 2 months. I changed my number. I have not given anyone in the academy my new number because you guys have me on Telegram. But my 073 number is in that phone that stays by the bookshelf. Okay? This is annoying because you get random people who are not even your students hitting you up saying, what's going on? So here's my live account. You guys can see the live account. It's one of my live accounts anyways. This is Euro Pound JPY. And maybe before we go there, let me show you what happened today. I've been talking about this trade for a very long time. Yesterday, when I went to sleep in Euro Pound, this trade, I was up maybe $125. I just been holding it for a couple of hours. All right. Traded. What am I looking for? I'm looking for Forex Live. Forex Live. Right. So I come here. Remember, I've done a short video around this kind of stuff when we're answering Mr. Caleb's question in our class about why is the pound for Japanese yen falling. Then I said I come here for market sentiment, right? Because I can't keep up with everything, but I trust these guys, right? These market analysts to keep up everything with me. Then I told you I have a routine. I check it twice a day, sometimes 3 times. Depends how active I am in the markets, right? So for my IC markets account, I'm in 6 positions. In this one that I'm about to show you, I'm just in one trade, but about 1, 2, 3, about 4 positions, etc. So it just depends how busy I am in the markets that day, right? And which account is the capital account, the hedge account, client's account, or my personal account. So it just always depends. But generally speaking, it's good to come here at least in the morning and in the night. Or if you trade sessions, which none of you will, because I'm pretty sure none of you are going to start off as full-time traders from Monday, right? You just finished the course. You're not ready for that, right? So you're going to be trading while you continue with your life, right? Up until you build your account up, right? And if you check this guy, so all I want is headlines. I just want sentiment. Feds is government, right? It's the banks, right? It's a federal banks. Evans says he expects first rate hike in early 24. I don't know who Evans is, but Fed is United States, and now they're changing. They're changing a little bit. They're thinking now we will increase the interest rates, but it'll be in 2024, not as early as we said, right? So it wouldn't take much to move his focus to 2023, right? I'll explain that in due time. Right, the steady bleed in Bitcoin isn't a good look. We know this. 365 traders, none of us are being caught up in the serious, in the silly buys right now, right? That weekly area of values taken out, major turning point on the top of Bitcoin, price was parabolic. We know when to buy. We've gone through this in class. Right, CAD test June high, you can go find what that is. Powell was talking, that was funny. I found the testimony hilarious as well, but you should see it for yourself because they used CPI data on Tuesday to strengthen the dollar just to tank it against retail traders. And then he was dovish all of a sudden. Dovish means his outlook has changed a bit. Their targets are changing a bit, right? They're manipulating the markets. But let's say you don't understand all this stuff. This happened today. I'm just going to keep scrolling down until I find it. Right. So at about, let's see, at about 10 a.m., 11 a.m. today, Thursday. There. So at 10:15, right? So we knew that this guy was going to give a testimony, right? He represents BOE, Bank of England, trade like the bank. So this kind of stuff must draw your attention. And basically, he said the same thing that America said on the 16th of June. And I'm pretty sure he's going to change his mind a couple of weeks from now, like the Fed is slowly doing. You know, that's just how to get that upward motion. But today they say, look, man, they're looking at cutting QE. They're looking at increasing interest rates, right? So the pound gains strength there, right? The pound gains strength. The problem with a lot of us, or myself and everyone else with me, in this trade is we are currently in euro pound buys. So when you're buying a currency, the euro pound, and it's a buy, you're actually saying, look, I believe euro should be stronger than the pound on a fundamental level. That's what the buy is. Now, on the 1 hour time frame, what time was that day? 18 past 10. If you see, this is correct. There we go. This one here. See this 1 hour chart here? Today, markets rallied up at 10 o'clock, right? When the news came out, you see this bullish engulfing pattern, right? Can you see this? You see, we were bought down here the previous day. And then markets rallied up today as soon as we found out, you know, what's going on, right? And then can almost like remove the supply. And then a few moments later, a couple an hour into the game, the pound and got a lot of strength. So if you're now buying euro pound, right, it's impossible because as the article says, the pound is now strong. So everything just reversed. This is one candlestick on the 1 hour time frame. After holding this thing, I held it the whole day. This was me. See these little arrows? These little arrows mark where you enter. I entered here, entered there, I entered there. And then all of these, it's a 1 hour time frame. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, almost 25 hours of holding a buy trade. The gains disappeared in an hour, right? The gains disappeared. And if you're following me on the public Telegram group, 20 minutes before this happened, I was like, God, if I was just doing signals for 365 students, it would just be easier. But if you're doing a public thing, I have to remember that some people don't care about this kind of stuff. They just want to see profits. So I said, take profits now. Literally, if you're in this thing, take profits now. Markets, we're here. So my account was about $100, 100 and something bucks at that particular time up there. Look at it now. It's at $100, but it's only down here. I'm going to talk to you about that. And I anticipated a downward move. I didn't think it was going to be this bad. I honestly did not believe. I thought we were going to get the usual retest of a bullish engulfing pattern. So I thought price was going to drop and then we're just going to go up, right? Those of us who are swing trading. But now markets in 1 hour with one candlestick removed all these gains. Now, I can tell you, even in our academy right now, right? Some people in our own academy, a whole lot of strangers, right, who think, you know, I don't know what they think, honestly. I can tell you that they panicked, and you are going to panic, and it's okay. Panicking is okay. Learning to overcome that is important, because the articles are literally, again, just have a look here. So now you're doing your research, you're in a panic. Let's say you over leveraged. Let's say you broke the rules and you went in a big lot size because you thought this was the signal that was going to change your life. And so remember, the power of leverage is you can use it to make money, but when you're wrong, it's used against you. So you can blow your account. Such a big move, right? Or on a non-trained trader, count is gone, right? Because you're looking at the stuff here, like pound gains. The pound strengthens against all currencies. The pound, when you check the heat map in the morning anyways, this thing was green. The heat map is simply saying it was stronger than the euro, it was stronger than the dollar, it was stronger than this, it was just green in the morning, right? And like I say to you guys, trade like how I'm telling you to trade as a swing trader for the first 3 to 6 months, because that's going to allow you to endure different market conditions, right? So some things won't be like whatever, right? Because when you read this article, I say don't read this, don't trade their signals, but here they're just telling you everything. Like pound has come alive, it's moving up. Policymakers have been queen and kicked to address the inflation. There's more detail to the plan, right? They're really pumping you with this information. Here's the thing that people still don't understand. The reason why our charts are broken down in time frames. They don't ever thought about that. Why are the charts structured in time frames? Why is there an H4, 1 hour? Because I guess we need them, right? Because we need to see what our broker is doing. But the reality is there is a financial language. What's ours? We know that markets move. Markets reflect on their position in 3 months. And that became popularly known as financial quarters. We understand this, right? Everyone who works in the professional speaks in financial quarters. It's every 3 months is a financial quarter. We now know that when we track the data, long positions, short positions, buys and sells in the markets for positional traders, being banks, right? They always have an annual take profit. There's always this 1 year hold, right? A very good clean trade that they hold for at least a year that creates a trend, right? So there's a banks think in 3 months, take profit in 1 year, and it's always situated in a 10-year plan. This we know. I covered this with you guys in module 1. Fantastic, right? Here's what we don't know, or what we haven't spoken about. You know, the principle of price is fractal. Price is fractal, right? It comes from our MT, a multiple time frame analysis process. When these guys are talking, when policymakers, when the governor is talking, when the articles are writing, because they won't explain it. Short term, when someone says, when you ask me, Leroy, what's your perception of Euro JPY in the short term? If you ask me that, when you say in the short term, and I know that you're a senior trader and you've been in the game for long, I'll give you a clean professional answer. I won't break things down in order blocks and wait for this demand to break. In the short term, I'll say markets are going to do A, B, and C. In the short term, I'm referring to this. I'm referring to multiple hours. That don't look right. Multiple hours. That's short term in the markets. Multiple hours to multiple days, right? So when we're talking short term, we're saying, you know, markets could go up in the short term. And the short term could be multiple hours to multiple days, right? So if you're not psychologically built, you can't hold a sell trade. You can hold it for a couple of hours before it hits your stop loss, but a lot of people will not have the discipline to wait for multiple days before the price takes off, like starts to trade, right? That's short term. Long term, right? I'll be like, okay, so Euro JPY in the short term is in a weekly demand. So in the short term, they are potential buys, but in the long term, I don't see that happening. All right, so let's give you context. I'm cooking today. I know I'm breaking ranks and like this is not, you know, a normal class, but it's important. I think it's important. So this is a chart I'm talking to you about. Look at that, right? Do you see how bigger that candle just got right now? So in the short term, look at this. Markets have clearly, absolutely clearly, as clear as day, as well as you know your name, left a supply. We know that in supplies, no buying is allowed. We don't care about the 50 billion, million, trillion theories around. We don't care about the tool. There's a trend line tool there. We are not going to assume that markets are going to bounce off that trend line unless there is a valid order block, demand, and money to assist and facilitate that move. So in the long term, this is a downtrend. I'm selling. I've told you where I'm going to buy. I'm waiting to buy there. In fact, I'm preparing myself psychologically to jump into a sale. When I look at the weekly area of value, short term, this weekly demand is not broken. Markets could push up. In the next few hours to days, we might even get a cute little fight back that will do something like this. Maybe there's a daily supply here. We all know how they'll rather sell high, right? And then in the medium to long term, we're dropping. So in the short term, in the next few hours to days, multiple hours to multiple days, I'm going to the daily time frame. Oh, look at that, right? Isn't that pretty? Like I just drew that. I was thumb sucking it, but it's pretty darn accurate. It's pretty darn accurate. Look at this. There's a bearish engulfing pattern somewhere there. Why does my mouse feel sticky? There we go. Right. See that here? So in the short term, it's too early. I can't make a play in this area of value right now. I don't really want to buy because, you know, my governor isn't buying. That's number one. So I don't want to be in a trade for fun because, again, it's real money, right? Well, the moment you decide to become a real trader and you're not messing around on demo accounts, you'll understand the pressure. It's real money, right? Losing $10,000 should hurt just the same as losing $1 if it's off a silly decision. It should hurt you the same, because if you have the ability to take $1 not seriously, I promise you, money and you like this, they'll never stick. Discipline, Mark Douglas's book, Discipline. If you haven't finished that book, you are not ready to even become a disciplined trader. How are you going to become a disciplined trader if you can't finish a book about being a disciplined trader? Right? You understand? You don't fool yourself. There's no shortcut here, guys. There's none. So in the short term, right, this could happen. And I want this to happen. I'm not going to trade it, but I want to see it, right? So this is a good validation for me to sell. Let them buy. Let them create a market. Cook. Do something in the news. I don't care. Just get this thing pumping up so I can sell high. I'd love to shoot this thing down there. But in the short term as well, they could be in a rush and remove this area and just start to sink, right? But it's all because my governor is doing the most up here. Putting pressure. And these areas will do this. They will do this. They'll buy you time, right? So now as a trader, did you understand multiple time frame analysis? Did you understand that there's a difference between selling here and waiting for a counter trend to sell up there? Did you really Because if you did understand it, you should not have tried to sell down there. Even though the governor is selling, all supplies and demands are equal. You have to put that stuff all together. But eventually, markets will do this, right? So let's go back to the whiteboard. I can see there's some questions there. Please accept my other gadget. You're already feeling FOMO. Well, wait, Nancy, what FOMO? All right, David, I've accepted your other gadget. What do you mean? Feeling of missing out. There's so many opportunities. It's too many. Too many. And markets could retrace and you could get another entry. And that's where I'm going this whole thing. I was in the negative today. I'll get to that final point, by the way. In the long term means multiple weeks, right? This is really now bankers' position, right? Because these guys can't change their minds overnight, right? So you're talking about multiple weeks to multiple months, right? And midterm is obviously, multiple days to multiple weeks, etc. But this is multiple months, right? Long term. And the long term is what your governor will always tell you. You need to make sure you're not stuck in this world for too long, that you're trading outside this picture. It's dangerous. Right. Now let's go back to this example. I know that the time is gone. I know that, but I see to talk to you guys about indices tonight and wrap up trend lines, etc. Right. So this 1 hour, I'm on the 1 hour time frame. Now check this out. When price was somewhere up here at 10 a.m. today, I was busy. I'm not that active in the public Telegram group as well. I should get back to it. It's just been busy. But I was like, look, if you're in this thing, just take profit. Just go. Just lock profits. Put your stop loss somewhere. Just make money. I just want someone to make money so they don't say they lost money because of 365, because I know that they don't understand the big picture, right? I wanted to get that out of the way, right? I am very strict on myself. When I take an L, I'll do a video of me taking an L, right? But essentially, there were many people who could not handle this. 25 hours, a full day of watching this give you $100 to $100, $100 and something dollars, 137. I took screenshots of it actually, and I think I never post amounts because I just don't want to be those kind of guys. I'll never. If I have to convince you by showing you big amounts, then I'm not your instructor, because what if I borrowed that money? What if it's not my account? What if I'm lying to you? What if it's a demo account? I mean, come on. You have to see someone consistently do this type of thing. Anyways, there's about $100. It got wiped out. Not only did this thing get wiped out, you see where I bought. It's just that now I'm on the live account, so there's no brush. Anything behind these green lines. So you see how this green line there, price is behind the green line. See this red? It was behind the green line. You see this there? Behind another green line. And so I was in the negative. So from being up 137 US dollars at 10 a.m. today, by 1 p.m. today, 3 hours later, to being minus $30, $40, $60 as price was ticking. Now, a lot of retail traders, I guarantee you, closed because they are losing money and they don't want to bleed, right? And that makes a lot of sense. What I did was I added to my buy because I'm nowhere close to the 5% risk on this account. I'm nowhere close. I'm up here. This is about 6,000 US dollars. So I've got 0.60 to use as my 5% if I want to use 5%. And if you check the lot sizes that I'm using, I got me 0.04, which is what someone with 400 US dollars would have to use for 5%. This is 0.10, right? 0.10, 0.10. So now I'm up 0.14, right? And then I added today 0.8 because for me, right, if you look at this chart for me, nothing. What's the panic? What traders forget is you want to see a value-based demand, but you don't want to be part of the creation of that value-based demand. You want to see a daily strong candlestick, but you don't know what it takes to build it. It takes a lot of reds and a lot of greens and a lot of reds and a lot of ups and a lot of downs. But if you just look at my chart on the daily time frame, is this not my daily demand? Look at my daily demand. Can you see how big my daily demand is? Why would I start to panic? Look where I'm buying. I'm buying right there at that first kiss, at that first touch. I have made back what I held for a full day right? Yesterday and lost in 3 hours. I've made it all back. If I'm skeptical about the play, if there's something that I didn't understand, I'm not going to sleep tonight in a loss, right? I'm going to close, and get another setup. I'm probably not going to close because I want to see my plan play out. I could move my stop loss now into my areas of value on the smaller time frames to protect me. So that if price does come back again tomorrow, I'm fine, right? Probably not going to do that because I'm no longer as emotional as I used to be about trading. But essentially, when I'm looking at this structure, everything that I wanted, that's the weird thing about traders. You do the analysis, you tell yourself, yes, I want to buy there, euro pound, that's where I want to buy. And then price comes. But on the smaller time frames, which I've told you to stay away from, because if you're just thinking about H4 daily, if you're just thinking about H4 daily, there's an H4 demand, price came into it. That's really all you're seeing. There's an H4 demand there. Look at this value base, right? And price came into it. Price is leaving. If you go to daily, markets are coming to finally make contact, fresh touch with your demand. It's right at the top. That's where your area of competition would be, just like how I taught you. Everything is fine. But when you go to those people want to add, and there's nothing wrong, it's just that on the smaller time frames, can you handle this? Can you handle seeing money disappear from your account, go back, take it? Because once you close, you lose your area of competition. Another final recap. Remember, we spoke about this at the end of module 1, that for me, everything is fights, swords, knives, karate belts. I'm a military jiu-jitsu kid from age 4, right? So I think in battle formations, when you open a trade, you are this person on top of a hill, and you have secured your area of competition in the game, right? That's all. And we all know that whoever conquers the hill when it comes to fights has the advantage, because at the end of the day, the enemy must come all the way up to you. And you can start to throw stones, you can shoot arrows, you can do so many things before you have to pull out your sword, right? Because you've got the advantage point. When you do your analysis, that is you putting yourself up on the advantage point. If you're taking a sell, it's a peak supply sell, and you open a sell and price drops, then something happens. The news freaks you out. Price pulls back in there, and now you're freaked out and you close this trade, right? What just happened here? I mean, I'm dancing in class. What's going on? There we go. And you close this trade because you're in a panic. The only thing that's going to happen to you is when markets are done playing with you, playing with your mind, playing with your emotions, when they're done with you, taking your money. Because remember, if you close somewhere up here, you're trying to sell and you close somewhere up here, right? But your entry point, oh my goodness, your entry point was somewhere here. You are now closing at an unnecessary loss. Your stop loss hasn't even been hit. Your stop loss is above, right? You are just in a panic. You are just in a panic. There's something wrong with, I think it's me, to be honest with you. Right, so you're just in a panic here. Your stop loss has not yet been hit, but you close a bit early, right? Because you tell yourself, I'd rather lose $10, oh my God, than the full $20, right? It makes sense to lose $10 than the full $20. That's what you tell yourself. And it makes sense at that moment. The problem is, if your analysis was correct, markets are allowed to come back down. Now, this is you. You're like, oh no, oh, 365, I was right. Analysis, it's fire. It works, it works, it works. You've lost your area of competition, AKA your ability to sell high is gone, because now you're trying to fight with price. You're trying to get in here. Why? You lost money for no reason there, and you're trying to revenge. Now price dances with you here, because once you enter here for a sell, which is fine, markets are allowed to do this. Retrace up there and then drop again. Here you are now, you're selling here. You've told yourself, no matter what, I'm not going to lose. There it is. You've taken a PCP, right? There's no turning point now. These are all PCPs, right? So your potential continuation pattern gets hit because price wants to go for a 61.8 retracement and then turns there. You're screwed. You are disheartened. And every time you make silly mistakes like this in the market, your confidence gets shattered. It's the first time, it feels like the very first time you were ever dumped, right? I don't know. Maybe you guys are superstars and you don't get dumped. Have you ever been dumped by a person? Your confidence is shaken, right? So the next time you want to date someone, you're going to think twice. If they dump you and say, anyways, your mouth stinks, right? You're gonna spend your whole life buying mouthwash, right? Your confidence is shaken. In the market, every mistake creates a vacuum in your trading psychology. There's a beautiful book by a trading psychologist, Dr. Alexandra. It's in the remote course folder. I won't even lie to you. I guarantee you that the students you're with in the group don't read those books. They're just 11. I need to rebuild my home office because I've got bookshelves in people's rooms now because I don't have space. Reading is life for a trader, for anyone in general. There's a brilliant book that I recommend to everyone. It's called Coming to My Trading Room. He's a trading psychologist, and he talks about the impact of every loss, everything that has ever hurt you in your life, to remember it 10 times better than the good things. That one child who stole your crayons when you were 4 years old and it just made you hate that child so much. The one time you peed on yourself when you're 5 years old and the whole world laughed at you. That one time you're 43 years old and you're still losing in the market. Your psychosis and your psychology is made up of all these big L's. Psychologically speaking, even though you don't say it, your subconscious mind will tell you, bro, you're a loser. You are a loser. You are going to lose. And so when those 1 hour candlesticks go against you like this, it's a replay. It's deja vu. I always lose anyways. It's a replay. So I might as well get out of it, right? And then your confidence gets rejacked, right? Price goes your way. You're like, oh God, my analysis was right. This is it. This is 80% of trading. 80% of trading is managing you, the trader. When this candlestick went down, I went to go look for more buying opportunities. Bet, right? So if you think I'm lying, you can check the dates. We're going to do this clean and clear today because I want to make sure I'm empty, like I taught them everything. If you think I'm lying, here it is. See that date there? 15 July. I told you, your broker will write everything. At 1:30, 23 past 1, boom, buy. I'm buying like a crazy person when everything looks ridiculous. It's selling. I've just lost 25 hours of profit. I am in the negative. I'm literally dancing. If you come here to the 5-minute chart, which is what I was watching, I was like, okay, buy. Simple, right? Because when you look left, it made sense. Price did the same thing. Fractality. You see on the small time frames, you are up in profits, you are back in a loss. You are up in profits, you are back in a loss. You're up in serious profits, all profits are gone. And then eventually, if your analysis is correct, it'll pay you. It'll pay you. But you have to be a trader, not the individual. So please revisit week 3 of class, week 4 of module 1, and don't even waste your time doing the ones that we did together. You can do them if you want, but go straight to week 4, module 1, week 4 in the remote course. I'm going to give you all access after tonight because you're done with the course. And have a look at how I break down how to grow a small account, how to compound, right? And add to this stuff that I'm telling you today. In fact, tonight's class is going to be one of the first and latest additions to the remote course because I've never done it like this, right? Add this stuff, guys, because this is what is going to happen. Markets will still do supply and demand, whether you believe it or not on the day. It's not a question of you don't believe in your area of value, price is going to fail. Price will follow the rules, right? You have to follow the rules, right, guys? It's 8 p.m. Thank you for allowing me to get that off my chest. Temperature check, are we okay? Did that help? Did that help? Are we okay with the fact that I literally squandered a lot of time doing that? I think it did, but I could be wrong. Feedback is important. Maybe I'm wasting your time. I don't mind. Then I won't do it for the next group. Right, but the reality is there's no Forex mentors talking about this stuff out there. The Forex prophets and the gurus and the Nasdaq kings, they don't tell you about drawbacks and drawdowns. They don't tell you about the fake demo accounts. They don't tell you about the fact that they get margin called, right? It's nice to take a screenshot in profits, but do you still have the profits 10 minutes later, right? When the public is gone, they don't tell you that kind of stuff. It's just that for me, I would very much prefer that we're all consistent, profitable traders than people who can make money now and again in the markets. There's a difference. That's called luck and chance and gambling. Consistency is simply the accumulation of understanding that you can see what's going on and you know what to do all the time. And that's going to take time and practice. So I started this long rant because we're done with module 2. People are preparing to trade. And I said, before I started, don't forget to ask yourself the main question. This is the main question because markets are not going away tomorrow. No government can shut this down, right? The main question is, and it's going to take time, you ready? And by ready, it doesn't mean, are you done with the course? Can you go trade? By ready, it means Leroy has shown up 4 times a week in my life for the last 8 weeks. 4 times a week for 2 to 3 hours in my life for the last 8 weeks. Has everything that he said sat with me? Because if it hasn't, it's all recorded. You can go through a marathon. Today is what, July? In June, I caught myself watching my previous classes that I used to attend. And I was like, damn, this is so outdated. And whoa, I do this differently. But oh, I forgot about this. Oh yeah, I forgot about compressions. I picked up stuff. Classes that I paid for, I paid $21,000 US a long time, online trading academy, like 4 years ago. And I was like, and then I told my partner that since I'm not doing an intake, right, I want to revisit all my ITPMT course because I still have access to my stuff. I did that license, what, 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I wanna use some of that time just to make sure, because a knife that cuts well is constantly sharpened. Are you ready? Take it slow, right? Those of you jumping onto the live accounts, take it slow. What you want to do is you want to slow down on the losses. You want to find the bleeding, trade in clusters, never go beyond 10 days, 10 trades, 10 to 15 trades without actually asking yourself, am I 60% trader, 60% winner, 40% loser? That's good. If you can start here, sharp, you're fine, right? If you're on 50-50, so if you take 10 trades, you lose 10 and you win 10 and you're on 50-50, slow down. And by slow down, cut the trading in half. Just cut it in half. Because guys, money comes through process. Taking 50 trades in 1 month, you're gonna see your P&L. It's gonna be red, 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 blue, red, 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 blue. Right? And your capital is going to be like this. And the only person who's enjoying you trading in the markets is not you, it's your broker, because they're making money off you. So please, please, please look out for this. If you can start here 60-40, because a lot of these rules need to be embedded in you, and that's a process, right? I don't want to lie, it's a process, right? Then we start to move forward together. That's why I'm doing the war rooms. The war rooms were always designed for 365 students. Right, so I won't talk about everything. There's not enough time. I'm only human. It's my Sunday. I'm teaching Mondays to Fridays, Saturdays. I barely see my kids. So I'll give you that extra time on Sundays. But at least we can talk about what you're seeing. And every week you get better and stronger. Right. Anyways, long story short. All right, cool. Okay, cool. So you guys found this helpful. Please accept me on the other gadget. I've done that already. All right, thank you for the feedback. Thank you for the very beneficial. All right, cool, fantastic. Right, guys, so let me just quickly recap on trend lines, and then we'll do the NASDAQ thing, and then we can end our course. All right, so the trend lines. I cannot remember the chart I used yesterday, and I can't think of any particular market that would be beneficial to me that I'd want to get into right now. I mean, do you see? Sorry, I'm so sorry, but it's not random. The reason why I feel foggy is because I didn't sleep at all last night. But I wasn't looking at the markets. I actually goofed around. I actually watched my partner sleep and my daughter sleep, and they all were doing these weird things. And I was just thinking, and I thought I'd proofread the final draft of my first book, and then I didn't. I watched series from like 3 till like 6, and then I passed out. But the reason why I stayed up initially, I was waiting for this. So I don't know if I'm sharing my screen. I'm on Forex Live. And I want everything that Forex gurus, textbooks, all that stuff, all that nonsense. If you really think, if you just take the time to look at it, look at this stuff, man. This is the NFP. Basically, it's NFP of Australia. That's one way to think about it. They were tracking because the Asian markets it's 9 or 8 a.m. at 3:30 a.m. Here at 3 a.m. 8 a.m. that side, right? So they open first, basically. Asian markets, Australia, Tokyo, Sydney, New Zealand, right? That area there. And so we're expecting employment data. This is the change, right? Remember, Australia, again, remember, Australia is currently under COVID. Australia is going through more restrictions. Australia, economy, data, all the stuff that I've spoken to you about, right? So some experts thought, look, man, because of Corona and all that kind of stuff, they might take a ding, right, to their unemployment rate. How do I start off a demo account for a green trader, someone who's never traded before? All right, Sheila, that's a very good question. That's a very good question. And I'll answer the question before class ends tonight. Thank you for bringing that up, because I always assume that stuff is basic, but for some people who've never ever done this before, we must give you step by step. Thank you for that. Right. Oh, it's a private message. Sorry, but it'll help everyone. Right. So employment change. Right. So just like NFP, right? It will tell you, right, how many jobs have been created, and it will tell you the unemployment rate, right? So the data came out at 3:30 a.m. That's why initially I was awake when I was watching stuff to keep me up. Eventually caught up with some music. I had a good time by myself at night, and then this came out at 3:30 a.m. right? So look at this. So at the top is the previous, what they actually got previously. In the middle is always the forecast. So what they expect, the gurus, right? The financial analysts think, look, man, at the end of the day, we think 19,000 jobs, at least create 19,000 jobs, dear Australian economy. If you can create 19,000,7 jobs and above, everything is good in Australia, right? Employment rate, you want this number to drop. That's why this is green. So if the unemployment rate, I apologize, unemployment rate was at 5%, the forecast, because last time it was 5%. Remember, this first column is the actual previous data. So last time unemployment in Australia was sitting at about 5%. In South Africa, it's at 43. In Zimbabwe, 98, right? 43 in South Africa. Look at other countries, 5%. I have no idea what it's like in Kenya and Zambia. Please do educate me, but I do know Africa is struggling. Right. Now, Australia, even though they've started lockdowns, even though COVID is back, they've managed to keep their unemployment down. So unemployment dropped. It's now at 4.9%. And they created 10,000 more jobs than the forecast. Guys, if you open this little folder, it'll tell you, man, the actual if it's greater than the forecast, 29,000 is greater than 19,000, it's good for the currency. So AUD is supposed to be strong, or is strong. It's doing very well. Kenya is at 70%. Oh, 70%. Better than Zimbabwe, where I'm from. Better than Zimbabwe, man. I'm sorry, Nancy. Right, so AUD today got strong news. The currency is supposed to be, so when I come here to the heat map, I want to see a strong AUD. Look at this. Look at this, right? AUD versus pound, euro, weak. Versus the dollar, weak. Versus pound, weak. NZD, 0.4%, barely one, not even close to 1%, or it's just still like raining at 0%. It's just 0.0, right? And NZD and AUD are the same. It's like they're cousins, by the way, right? Against the CAD, weak. Against Swiss franc, weak. Japanese yen has been falling. It's still weaker than that. Class. So this is what I mean by remote course, right? This is our online course hosted here, embedded through our website, etc., etc., etc. And there it is. So module 1 is our mastering the basics. This takes 4 weeks when being done live. All right. So the live classes start on the 13th. This is what we're going to be doing. But obviously, if you're going to the remote course, then you can't come to the live classes, but you have the full course that you can do at your own time. So you'll have a folder similar to this, week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4. We've just finished week 4, like I said. And you just please follow. It's very important. Just follow the way I've kind of like labeled it out for you, right? So in the introductory lecture, module 1, everything is kind of like just laid out for you. Everything's laid out for you. On average, as you can see by the size, each class is about 2 hours, give or take. And then at the end of each week, in each folder, there's a short PDF that I've written right in there that actually summarizes everything that I think you need to know. So I kind of like quickly break down what it is that were the key things to take away from that week, right? So it's actually important to keep track of this particular folder. But yeah, this is what our remote course looks like. I'm on week 2. You can see it's got files, the videos are there, carefully labeled. Again, you want to go through this stuff the way I've said it out, because it's a very much interloop course, right? So you can see a lot of people are already kind of like in it. And again, go, and then when it's now time for a new folder, you go through a new folder. But I feel like I've taken up so much of your time. Please enjoy the class that we've just done tonight. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, guys. This massive discount, the live course discount, is only going to happen once. So it's only for the 13th of July, right? Where price will be slashed to $180, right? But the remote course will stay where it is up until we complete our goal of 3,000 subscribers on YouTube, right? Guys, one more time, shake my hand, and I'll see you in the other side of our classroom. Peace.